Let's go over to the super chat for a little bit here. We'll start with the Rockfin. Chris, what's up, buddy? Have to second what my friend Farkas said in the super chat. Haha. Have you been? Oh, okay. We'll go over to Farkas in a bit here. Have you been able to stomach any of the Chauvin trial yet? No, I've not been able to stomach any of it. I
sat through. Oh my God, I was sick yesterday. I was just sick.
I've seen some of that guy who's defending him. What I think the guy Nelson or something like that. The guy who's defending Derek Chauvin.
I don't know his name, but I want to vomit on him. Like, I literally want to walk up to him and just barf on him.
The stuff that guy is saying, the ridiculous excuses he's making, it's, oh, no, he was distracted. People were, oh, you mean the people who were saying to the cop, please stop or you're going to kill that man? The person who was like, hey, I'm a doctor. You're going to kill him if you don't get off of him. Or maybe you're referring to George Floyd begging for his life. That distracted the guy. He was distracted. That's why it happened.
You know,
he's physically kneeling on another human being. He just forgot he was doing it.
Yeah, the one thing that, you know, he was on drugs, he was blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that really stood out to me was dude literally said Mercedes-Benz like 25 times. He kept saying, and Mr. Floyd was in his Mercedes-Benz and he turned off the ignition in the Mercedes-Benz and he walked out of that Mercedes-Benz and he went back to the Mercedes-Benz. And I'm like, dude, okay, he had a good car. Okay, who the hell gives a shit? What does that have to do with anything?
Here's Chris's question. One thing I've noticed so far is the copious amount of notes Chauvin is taking with a pen and notepad. What possibly can he constantly be writing down? Any thoughts, Ron and Savage Joy, on what it could be? What is Derek Chauvin writing in the courtroom? Wow.
I would say probably just quotes to try and twist. Well, if you said I was standing like this and so-and-so said I was standing like that, maybe you're both wrong. Like trying to contradict.
I don't think he's that bright. I honestly do not think he's that bright.
And sociopaths are very good at manipulation. That's an interesting question, though. That
is an interesting question. I think he's probably writing down all the excuses. I think he's probably, because I mean, his lawyer who, I mean, wow, I get it. If you're a lawyer, you got to do the job, but holy shit, there's got to be a time where you just say, I can't ethically do this.
Right.
And I don't know how that lawyer, it's unbelievable. I mean,
you know, if he has to take the stand, he's the dumbest mother effer in the entire universe.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's probably taking notes of excuses. I don't think Derek Chauvin's a very bright guy. Like, I don't think he's a very intelligent guy. I think he's evil. But I don't think being evil necessarily equates like, okay, yeah, maybe he's a sociopath, but he might not be among the more manipulative ones because I don't think he's that bright. I
just thought of something. I wonder if, and this could be totally off base because I haven't thought of it before this question, but there is proof that George Floyd and he knew each other because they worked at the same club and they were both security. And I wonder if he's kind of like taking notes to address that if it comes up. Like if he can use that to, I knew the guy, I liked him, I wasn't doing it on purpose, like that kind of thing. Because that's a really weird twist. The fact that they knew each other is odd.
Yeah, maybe he's anticipating that. I think that's possible. I mean, I don't think it's, you know, and don't get me wrong, I don't think he's not bright to the point where he won't try to prepare. I mean, I think of course he will, but I don't think he's bright enough to really like be framing a bunch of gotcha moments for other people that have already been on the stand. Maybe he is, but he just does not strike me as a very bright guy. But I think usually I feel that way about cops, and by usually I mean always. Have you ever come across a cop where you're like, this guy is really, I mean, he could have been a professor or something, but he decided cop, which is
total
usually
rocket scientist and rocket surgeon. Yeah.
I've never met a cop in my lifetime ever where I'm like, oh, this is a bright person. Like that's never ever happened, because I don't think it exists. Like even when you get pulled over or something like that, and you have to deal with it real quickly, you realize you're not talking to a very bright person. And
well, there was a study a few years ago, and I forget what state it was, but there was a study that came out that the typical police offices do not hire police with above XYZ IQ.
Yeah. If you get above a certain level.
That.
So I'm going to change my answer, Chris. I think that Derek Chauvin has a coloring book, and he's just he's playing connect the dots. They had to give him a set of crayons to keep him busy. That's my final answer.
Feasible.
And also, so what Farkas said over here on the YouTubes, Derek Chauvin is a punk biz niche.
Accurate.
I haven't seen that in like 20 years. I haven't seen anyone.
I see that.
Do you?
Oh yeah,
That's
I say
awesome.
it all the time. I'm like, whatever, business. I always
thank you for that. Thank you for that, Farkas. I appreciate it very much, buddy. And Farkas says, needs a slap. Needs to be put in jail. Needs to be put in jail for the rest of his freaking life. That's honestly, that's what I want to see happen. Will it? I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. Again, this show could just be called I Hope I'm Fucking Wrong.
Yeah.
90% of the time. And sometimes I hope I'm right, but yeah.
Right or wrong.
Right or wrong. Perfect. Do you think there's any chance he's going to go to jail? Or...
I don't. I don't. And, I hope that there is a bigger uprising than we have ever freaking seen in our entire country, and I will freaking be there, hands down. But I mean, look at Breonna Taylor. Look at every freaking case. I don't think this is going to be different, and and I definitely don't think the douche canoes who stood by and blocked and let him do it, I don't think anything's going to happen to them, for sure.
No, for sure nothing's going to happen to them. The only thing, and I do agree with you, I don't think anything's going to happen. But the one area where I think, well, I could be wrong this time. And I feel like I'm about to go kick the football Lucy is holding. I really do feel that way. Not my Lucy, the other one. But is because this is the first time, at least that I'm aware of, where there hasn't been enough time that has gone by to where the story itself is really out of the public eye. Every other time that has been the case, and that's by design. It's not just the quote wheels of justice moving slow. It's by design, because they want to be able to let these cops off without public scrutiny, and they hide under the guise of fairness. In reality, they just want to be able to get away with their corruption, where cops can just kill people with zero consequence. So this is the first time where it hasn't left the public's eye yet. It really hasn't. People are still angry. People are still very much aware and very much awake, and are very much tuning into what's happening. To the point where, I mean, they even have stuff outside the courtroom. They have like a wired fence and stuff. So that might. And I'm thinking maybe 5% chance, but hey, chance nonetheless.
How the hell maybe do you find a jury? Like, who the hell hasn't heard of this?
I know, right? I've wondered that too. I mean, I wonder that all the time. I mean, I remember wondering, like, how the hell, even as a young kid, I was like, how the hell are they going to find a jury for this OJ case? Like, how the hell are they going to find a jury for this? How are they going to, I mean, you wonder that a lot, and it's, we'll see. Man, again, hope I'm wrong. I don't think anything's going to happen to him. I really hope I'm wrong. He deserves to go to jail for the rest of his freaking life. And hopefully that happens.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron.